it! Viva la revolution!
I'm here to discuss one battle after another. Is it worth it? The Paul Thomas Anderson movie that everybody's talking about. So controversial, they called it our far left violence movie.
Bruh.
That was ridiculous. Okay, Leo, Sean Penn, Tiana Taylor. What you got?
You know what freedom is?
What?
No fear. Go.
It's World War III out there!
Leonardo DiCaprio plays a washed-up revolutionary, Bob Ferguson. Sean Penn is playing a character that goes by Stephen Lockjaw. He's part of the military. These two men, they're both obsessed with Tiana Taylor's character. Perfidia Beverly Hills. I saw on Wikipedia, they called this a black comedy action thriller. So a black comedy action thriller film written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. The story follows Bob and Willa. Willa is Perfidia's daughter. They're being pursued by the corrupt military character Stephen Lockjaw because Bob and Perfidia were a part of the French 75 revolutionary group, and they're trying to hunt all of them down. Benicio del Toro and Regina Hall are both in this movie, and they're wonderful. They're so great. I loved everything about them. Those two characters, let me tell you. Who did I just turn into? The Penguin? So I think that's as much as I could say with no spoilers. I don't think the Willa fact of her being Tiana Taylor's / Perfidia's daughter is a spoiler, but let me move on. I wrote down some of the key things that I thought were interesting in this movie. Things that were very interesting. So here's a spoiler warning. There may or may not be something that says spoiler warning across the screen. Bob Ferguson and Stephen Lockjaw's relationship with Perfidia.
What the
Very
hell?
interesting. Very interesting. Perfidia selling out the French 75 and abandoning her family.
What the hell?
Interesting choice.
Oh, my.
It gets me thinking. Why did they make her do that? A character that goes by the name Jungle Pussy,
What the
and who
hell?
apparently that's her actual stage name is Jungle Pussy. Very interesting. He's like, what the fuck? Jungle Pussy? Shit's wild. The Black Nun group on top of that mountain that grows weed. Very interesting. And a concept, if you're sitting around on a table, you're smoking some weed, and you're like, wouldn't it be so cool if there was a mountain of black nuns who sold weed? That'd be so fucking dope. But then it made it to the movie. So very interesting. And lastly, the Christmas Adventures Club. The white supremacist group. I can't help but laugh at these losers. What Hollywood does, and they did it again with this movie, they like to show us how old racist white men can kind of control the world, and how they oppress people of color from living their lives. And yes, I am very aware that that they're a revolutionary group, but sometimes what we need is a revolution.
Viva la revolution!
There was a scene in this movie with there's a character, I looked him up, his name was Tim. Don't know the actor's name, but he sits down with the Christmas Adventures group, and he gets hit with the question around Stephen Lockjaw's character having relationships with a black woman, and they're very upset about this. And this reminded me of a scene in Judas and the Black Messiah with Jesse Plemons' character when he was talking to, I believe it was the director of the FBI, and he says, "What would you do if your daughter brought home a black man? How would you react to that?" And this scene kind of seems like, if you were to fast forward, what a white supremacist group will do if one of their own ever has relations with a black woman. And even though Stephen Lockjaw has a relationship with Perfidia in a weird, grotesque way, if you watch it, you'll know why it's weird and grotesque. It's just, ew. Sean Penn's character is like, I don't know, how old is Sean Penn? He did a great job in this movie, but like, how old is that guy? He had to be like 69, 70 years old. Sorry if you're not that old. But then I guess it makes sense to have someone that old who's gonna join this white supremacist group, because I think them being this old helps, enforce this we're being ruled by old people. There's a lot of positive things about the movie too, like Leo's relationship with his daughter, Benicio, his character, how his relationship with Leo, the entire scene with those two guys, they have great on-screen chemistry. I thought Willa played her role pretty well. She's badass.
Thank you, Sensei.
At the end, her setting up, who did she set up? I forgot what character she set up at the end, but she did it. I think it was Tim's character. She's like, "Oh, you see the roads are very windy," and she's like, "I'm gonna use that to my advantage." Sets up a trap, takes him out. So that was cool. At the end of the movie, Stephen Lockjaw's character, everything he did in this movie, try to kill his daughter, try to kill all those French 75 members, killed a bunch of them. All for some office space. Yeah, I got this room to call my own. I got some office space, and the funny thing is, it was like the most bland office in the world. It's just a gray building, a little wood desk, some file cabinets. He's like, "This is all mine." That's corporate America. That's how you get to the top. You oppress, and you silently kill, which is what happened to Stephen Lockjaw. They filled up that room with some gas because they killed their own too. The reason you guys are all gonna love this movie is because this is true. This exists. This is out there. There's groups like the Christmas Adventurers Club that are at the top of these corporations. One thing that they make sure they do is they gotta get rid of all that punk trash.
Punk trash.
That's what they say.
Stop them.
They gotta get rid of all this punk trash out there. Well, who we calling punk trash, bitch? Motherfucker. You punk trash ass. But yeah. Thanks, Paul Thomas Anderson. Appreciate it. Thanks for this movie. For this series that I do called Worth the Watch, I have to acknowledge that there's so much that tries to capture our attention. You got movies, you got TV shows, you got TikTok, social media, all social media, books. Have books capture your attention, and movies and film. Put the phone down and sit there for 2 hours. Regain your attention span, because that's all they want. They want to capture your attention. They want to gather some data on you. So it's important to know what's worth the watch and what's not worth the watch. I do engage in the doom scrolling. Sometimes it does piss me off. I pick up my phone and I'm like, "Oh, look at this. What? That's AI. That's AI right there." And of course it's AI. People don't fall down paintings that are being painted on the street. And you're like, "Why am I watching this?" There's no animal. There's no moose attacking a tour group. If you find a real one, send it to me. I'm like, this is some wild shit. So this is why I wanted to continue this series worth the watch. This movie, one battle after another, it's worth it. Just to think about, like, what is the message that they're trying to tell us. Now, you might look up online and it'll tell you this is about, you know, fighting and activism and both sides going too far, which, yeah, to some extent, but I like to think it is more around that group. Look around. Old people don't care about young people. If they did, they wouldn't just look at them as a number they could profit off of. They would invest more in our well-being and education and community activities. They would treat each other as equals. But they say it in this movie, if you're part of their white supremacist group, you're now a part of an elite race. Or I forgot what they said, but it's just some dumb bullshit that I'm sure some people out there believe in, which is it does a lot more harm to the masses than it does good for their small group of people. So yeah, it's worth it. I think art and film and shows that want to send a very strong political message, they should. But there also needs to be some action. And if you made it to the end, just realize I'm also trying to capture your attention with this video. But I do it in a way that doesn't gain any profit off of you. So not yet. You know, YouTube doesn't pay me. You look at the numbers. I'm doing this for fun. Look at this. You see that? That's a little birdie right there. It's the great horned owl. It is, right? Yeah, it's a great horned owl. So thank you for watching this if you made it this far. Thank you for allowing my opinion to influence you in some way. Or maybe it didn't. Maybe you're like, this guy's a Joe Schmo who doesn't know anything about film. I didn't go to film school. I watched it. I'm like, I am some regular Joe Schmo who's watching a movie and who's like, what are they trying to say? What does that mean? Why did I get up close like that? What's this shot telling me? Did you see that? Did you see that? You see how there's blue over there? You see that red? Must be angry. What are they focusing on? Yeah, I take what my high school literature teachers have taught me, and I'm trying to read between the lines of this movie. Is it working? You know, it's all left up to interpretation. So my opinion can't be wrong. That's what I love so much about it. You can't say my opinion's wrong because it's my opinion. It's mine. You can say you don't agree with it, but that's about it. And if you don't agree with it, leave a comment down below. Say, hey, you said this shit. Didn't agree with it. I thought it was wrong. Just don't be rude. There's no reason to be rude, really. At some moment, I need to realize when I should stop talking. But it's only me and you. Meaning, it's me talking to the void. So I'd never really have to stop. This could keep going on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Thank you. God damn it! Viva la revolution!